But I want to thank you all for coming. We're super, super excited. The topic tonight is all things NAIA. And one of the reasons this came up is I'm a recruiter. I have almost 1,200 student athletes nationwide. And one of the things I noticed is everybody targets D1, D1, D1. And like, what is D1? What is D2? What is D3? And most of all, NAIA is a complete separate organization. It's not NCAA, it's its own organization. And they alone have, where's my numbers here, 198 softball schools. They have over 250 schools that play sports. So the amount of opportunities that are in NAIA, and if you go naia.org and you look at their homepage, you are going to see a whole new world, a whole new opportunity. It is an amazing institution. What it provides for people, we'll let our guest speaker go through it and give as much as they can. But I also open up the mic. I want to introduce my co-host, Dr. Jackie, and introduce herself.
Hey, everybody. First off, Sherry, thanks every week for having me on. I greatly appreciate it. I'm from New Jersey. If you couldn't tell, I'm a former D2 athlete, dual sport. Wasn't softball. Long story how I got into it, but huge supporter of women's sports and has developed into softball majority of the time. Clearly an Oklahoma fan, but all across the NCAA and beyond. But while Sherry is on the back end trying to get this to work out, often NAIA, and sometimes there are people who don't even know, what NAIA is and that they do provide competitive sports at similar levels as the NCAA. So, it is an option. It is definitely highly competitive and often is a great fit. So I'm excited to have Coach Jim Gasso on today to walk us through that and to provide a different light into it.
Great. And it looks like they're back up. So I want to test you guys. Come off mute and let's see if we've got you live finally. Mac, I know you're trying to help Coach Gasso there with Twitter. You're on mute. So if you can come off mute, we can carry on. If not, I'm going to keep going. So I see on their page 250 sports. Oh, there you go. Can you guys give us a test here, Coach Gasso? All right, hold on. There we go. All right. They are connecting. All right, Coach Gasso, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. How you doing?
Awesome, Coach Gasso. I apologize. First of all, I didn't get the video working correctly, and then I forgot to tell you guys it has to go on a phone, not a computer, which is so crazy with all this technology that they can't figure out how to put it on a computer. So we appreciate your patience. I already introduced myself, so I want to hand the mic over to you. I'd love for you to introduce yourself and state the reason why NAIA for you.
Okay, so I just am getting ready to start my second season at MACU softball, and one of the reasons why I took that job a year ago was because uh, a couple years before I became the head coach, I had a request that I asked God, and I said in my request, I said, God, you know what's in my heart. You put it in my heart, and I need you to put me where you want me to be, and left it at that. And then what was that? A couple of years later, I get a phone call from a friend of mine who's involved with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and he's calling me. And usually, when he calls me around that time, he's asking me to go talk to students, high school, and so forth. And so I go around and do that. And so when he called me, sir, I'm thinking that's what he's going to ask me. So he says, "No, coach." He goes, "Hey, listen, I have a friend of mine. They're looking for a softball coach at Mid American Christian University. the previous coach has retired, and they're looking for a coach. You know, someone that I can recommend. And so as soon as he said that, my immediate response was, yes, I know somebody. And I was very eager and quick to say
I
it.
love it because you felt it
And
in
then
your
he said,
heart, right?
there it is. See, you read
Yeah.
it perfect.
Well, will
Exactly.
you do us
And
the
it was,
humble beginning of telling us your full name and your background and why we're all so familiar with
I'm
your
sorry.
last name?
Well, my name is Jim Gasso, and I'm the creator of the Gassos that are out there right now and having the time of their life in softball. My wife is the head softball coach at the University of Oklahoma. My son JT, who is the hitting coach there, and FYI, Patty fired me to hire him, so I thought you might not want to know that. And then my other son is a hitting coach at the University of Arkansas.
That is incredible. A
So
true
we have,
family effort. And I'm going to go way back on you
yeah,
because your daughter in law, Andrea, her dad not only went to
I,
high school with me, but her Auntie Jeannie was a childhood friend of mine from junior high to high school. So I always joke, we're family. We're all connected here.
yeah,
So it's
yes,
it's crazy how
exactly,
the worlds all collide. But I was given an
yes.
introduction to why NAIA. What is the unique differences that you see in coaching NAIA and having been part of such a big organization such as Oklahoma?
Yeah, I've been in college athletics my entire career. I've been a athletic director at two universities, and then coaching at the community college level and other Division I schools, um, and then being an administrator. I've been involved with the NCAA my entire career. I loved it and so forth, but then it started to change. Um, the NAIA that I know now, I wish I would have been involved with them a long time ago, but it's just the closeness that you feel in your job and working with the student athletes and just teaching them and helping them and holding them accountable, trying to make them better as good as they want to be. But I kind of like push it a little bit hard where, I want them to be great. I want them to be great in what they do, and I want them to have fun doing it, and I want them to be competitive. And all of this is for it lets me help them. Like Patty, Patty taught me a lot about coaching women and girls, and so they come to me and to her as girls, but when they leave as women. So all the things that the training that we make them go through, and helping them succeed, and helping them, showing them not to quit, never to give up, giving your best all the time. I don't care if it's a little small drill at practice, or that might be, we want them to be the best. And the closest that we have, like yeah, they can be in the class, and the most student that they'll have is about 13 kids to one professor. And so we develop that closeness with them. And so, like, it's instant connection that I feel. And I want them to get to know me, and I want to get to know them. And just together, we just work and push each other and make each other great.
And I think I
So,
heard you say
the
too that the
closeness.
classroom sizes are smaller. So I'm assuming here that the professors get a better relationship with each student
Oh,
athlete.
absolutely. And that's what a key that these students have is that the same philosophy ideas that I have, those professors say the same way. They want to see them succeed. And they're right there to help them. So, if you come to Mac, you're going to graduate, and you're going to connect with your professors, your coaches, and then the student body, the kids that are there. It's you have a instant fan base, friendships, closeness, and the
And I
experience
think I
is,
shared
is
with you
just
that, my
something.
student athletes, I stay with them till they graduate. I would say, how's it going? And my NAIA kids are the happiest. they're thriving and they're
Yeah.
focused and they're enjoying it. And they said they walk down the street and everybody's an athlete and they all know each other. So there's this alumni, group that goes away with them too. Tell me more about some of the alumni that support you guys.
Well, I brought one of my players. Her name is Emily Campbell, and she would be a great person to ask a question to because you know I've gotten to know her a lot more. And I enjoy coaching her. She's highly competitive. She hates to lose, and I mean I love those kind of. She's a blue collar
I love
type
it.
kid.
Hi, Emily.
She's
Come
not
on
afraid to.
on. And
Yes,
again, I
here she
wish
is.
we had video so we'd all get to know each other here. But introduce yourself, tell us your background, and give us some of your thoughts.
My name is Emily Campbell. I This is my senior year here at MacU. I went to Blanchard, Oklahoma before this. It was just my high school. Um,
Tell us what you like about NAIA. What made you select NAIA?
um, about how close everyone is. I know everyone. Um, like he was saying, that our classes are small, and it makes it easier to understand the professor and in our subject and what we're learning because there's not as many people in there. Um, I feel like our team is really close too, just because of how it is
That's
there.
awesome. And then, if either one of you know, are there grade and academic requirements that are different than NCAA? Maybe share some of the differences.
Yeah, at NAIA, you need to carry a 2.0 GPA, right? And and then pass so many hours per semester. If you don't maintain that 2.0 and you get down below that to like about a 1.7, then you'll get on academic probation. But the thing with us is yes, academic is very important and your grades are. But when our kids, get a little in trouble, the resources are are there for them. But getting in line to talk to the help that you need, you don't have to get in any line because you have instant access to the help that's waiting for you so that they can help you.
That's amazing.
And
Yeah,
that's a
and I don't
different.
think people know it until they
Yeah,
need the help and they're in a big university and it takes you a
exactly.
week or 2 weeks to even
Yeah.
talk to your academic counselor. So,
Yep. Exactly.
are there scholarship opportunities? Tell us about the athletic and academic scholarships that are different than NCAA.
Well, we have uh, the athletes that have good grades when they come as freshmen, they can apply for academic scholarships, and we can help them with that. But it's all based on their GPAs and their test scores. So whatever they get on those scores, and then there's a chart of of your GPA and your test scores, and then how much money that you can possibly get at each level. And the highest for us will be a student that has a 4.0 and they score a 30 and above. That kid academic wise can get up to about
Wow.
$12,000 on just
So,
academic.
what is the average tuition? Does it vary by school or is it pretty regulated?
Yeah, no, it just depends on the school. Like for us, it's just right. We're close right to just under 30,000. It's 29.5, I think it is. But the great thing about us is a lot of kids that live within a radius of like, I think it's 75 miles, they can commute and come to school. And they don't, and then they save money, on not living on campus and, or eating there on campus. So they save a lot of money there. And we have a lot of kids that do that too.
That's great. Tell
So
us about
that helps them
postseason
a great
play
deal.
because I'm down here in Texas. We are Lady of the Lakes that won it twice in a row. But tell us about postseason. It's exciting.
Yeah, this past season, our team, the university has had sponsored softball for the last 15 years. And in those 15 years, they've never made it to the NAIA tournament. And this past season, my first year there, I took a team and we made the NAIA tournament. And it was a great ending for us to go to the tournament and be part of it and experience what we experienced, because the stepping stone that these athletes took, it took them to another level, a level that I knew they could attain, and it's all because of their work, their blue collar type attitude, their willingness to compete, hate to lose mentality, and they adjusted well to all the things that were thrown at them. And let me tell you, they worked their butts off, and they made it. I did nothing. They're the ones that did it. I just watched them play.
I love it. I always challenge student athletes that are in the recruiting process, don't think that D1 is everything and that that talent means that because you play D1 that you're better than everybody. Go see an NAIA, go see a D3, go see a D2, go see a JUCO. They don't understand that there's not a big difference between the talent level. It is more about the overall fit and the journey. And I know with faith-based student athletes, that's number one, to find coaches that believe and that support that kind of system. It just brings, I call it a sisterhood, no like unlike anything else out there. So share a little bit more about like the type of student athlete that you look for and what's going to make the right match for your university.
Okay, so like on the athletic side, Emily is a person, like she's the blueprint of a kid that has everything that I love, and she's self independent. She's not afraid to work. You know, she works a job while she's by playing softball, and she can manage both. And but when she's working, and let me tell you, she works her butt off to make as much money as she can while trying to support herself, but extra money that she likes to get. But at the same time too, she doesn't you know take softball for granted. She's in there, she's in the grind, she's hustling, she is encouraging the players, her teammates, and I see her, trying to help them and teach them and talk to them. But when she gets in that competitive attitude, man, I love to watch her compete, and she's got a feel for the game. Uh, she's one of the few players that I've ever had that I let them, she's got the green light to steal whenever she finds the right moment and has that feeling. She makes great decisions. She's got a good feel of the game. So those kids that are independent but smart thinking and reactionary and very competitive, those are the kids I love. And those are kids that don't give up. They just keep coming at
I
you.
love it.
And when they hurt, they hurt. Let me
Yeah.
tell you. So they take it very, very
That's
personal.
awesome. So I mentioned at the top of the hour that there's 198 softball schools that are NAIA, and I think everybody needs to go see one in their local neighborhood. Go out and see them play and support them and investigate because it's so much more about the fit. This year, there are also people that say, well, they have a JV team. What's the concept at NAIA for having a JV team and a varsity team? Do you
Well, let me tell you, I was waiting for that because I really enjoyed that concept, but I don't call it JV. See, we got to remember that we're not in high school
exactly.
anymore. We're in
So what do
college.
you call them?
So, well, here's what I call it. When I get it, um, I call I have the major league team, and then I have a minor league
Gotcha.
team. And just because you go into the minor league team first doesn't mean you're not gonna have a shot to play at the major league. What I tell them is you're gonna have to work hard here at that level, and then when you're gonna get all the reps because that's where you're gonna be at. But that doesn't exclude you from the major league team, because I'm going to need you to play in there to give you the reps. So you got to take it seriously, just like in Major League Baseball. They have all those different leagues for them, and so those guys are going starting from rookie ball, single, double, triple, up to the major league team, and so I keep them focused on their journey and what's going to take them, how their performance is going to get them on the field. And so if they start here, doesn't mean that's where they're going to end up. They start here is to make them better. They got to give me a reason why they're going to take someone's position, but they have to take it. So they'll have that
I
opportunity.
love it.
They're just a
Well,
little
I
bit
want to
behind.
remind the audience, you guys can either reply here to our space and ask us a question. You can text me personally. Coach Jackie's on here. We call her Dr. Jackie. So come on up, Dr. Jackie.
How's it going, Coach? Thanks for joining us today. I really appreciate it. So, question for you personally: like, your household is clearly busy, and you've got a bunch of grandchildren now. What motivates you to keep going personally?
Well, it is the connection that I have with my players. I want to know them, and I want them to know me, and I'm all in with them and watching them grow, and not just on their softball arena, but also in their spiritual life. And I have a thing for God in my heart, and I want to share that and disciple them, and I want them to get to know who God is, who Jesus is, and have a personal relationship. And it's not about us, but it's about them and that relationship. And you have that opportunity to get to know Him at a close level, where you don't need to go through anybody. You just go straight to the source. And so it's been, for me and my family, we've been blessed, and it's in my heart's and it's in our family's heart. And I know what's going to happen here. Someday we're not going to be here. This is a temporary place for us. But while we're here, I want to make the best of it that I can. But through softball, I can reach the players that I want to reach, and disciple them, and give them that information that has made my family to be where we're at today. If we've never got to know God the way we know Him now, who knows where we'd be.
I love it. That was a great question, Dr. Jackie and Coach Gasso. Your authenticity is just everything we've all loved about you all these years. Uh, Tell us what your season's looking like. When do you guys kick off? How do people find your schedule so that they can come see you and your team play?
Okay, Emily, do you know our schedule?
So we start in about 10 days. We are going to Texas in a tournament in Mesquite. You can find our schedule on the MACU website under athletics. It's on there with our roster too. So you want to take a look around.
Love it. And I really would love everybody to share this space tonight, and really let's educate people on NAIA. I'm on TikTok. I run into your group of influencers there on TikTok, and I'm always tagging back at them. I think we just have to make more people aware when they hear, oh, well, I want to play D1, but I want to be a nurse or a vet. Man, this is a great place to do it, because that's where I see the student athletes get to study what it is that they want to study. And with 198 schools, I'm sure you're going to find a location that has the type of thing that you're interested in. But like Coach Gasso's talking about, the personal connection, the personal coaching relationships, do more in the investigation of finding out what these schools are. It's not the label of D1. It's not that you're going to be in the College World Series in Oklahoma City. You're going to be in the College World Series where this year, Emily? Where's your College World Series going to be held this year? Or did I stump you?
I think our AD, our sports information director, Adam Stanek, is here.
Google it quick.
So I'm not putting him on.
Everybody Google it.
George, not sure if it's there again this year or not. I haven't looked that far
Well,
out yet.
let's plot our way there, everybody, because I am ready to see it. I had a kid up at Jessup last year. I had kids at McPherson. Still have a kid at Sterling. We've got CSA kids all over NAIA. We love it, and we're going to root for them all the way in. I don't want to shut down if anybody else has any more questions, but I also want to be respectful to anybody's time. So again, if you can all share this space when we're done and just say, hey, it was a great opportunity to hear Coach Gasso. And thank you for your team there. Jackie, any final thoughts?
Yeah, there was a question that came through for Coach Gasso, and that was, what is your favorite or most challenging aspect of coaching in regards to position?
Oh well, the positions are not for me. It's not the issue, but for me is like I want to be real with them, and I want them to be real with themselves and their teammates. You know, and it's I know that like Emily, she's a very competitive person, right? So we're scrimmaging here a couple days ago, and we had a situation where uh, we're scrimmaging, and then I put it to them, okay, on this situation here, this is the end of the scrimmage. Whoever wins this one right now wins, and the losing team has to stay and clean up the entire stadium, put all the equipment and everything else. Man, I said that, and boom, everybody was ready to
You
play.
you saw some hustle, huh?
Oh, absolutely. Because the carrot was, hey, we win this, and we don't have to do anything. We just go straight to the locker room, and the other players will clean
Oh,
up,
I love it.
right?
That is.
And so the play happened, and everything else, and the one team that should have won lost on a drop ball. And then Emily, very being a senior and competitive, and we got together to talk about, okay, let's talk about what happened and what we need to fix. And she explained herself and let them know that little mistake causes the game, and wanted them to know how important it was for them to make a routine play and make the play and give us a chance to win. And so when that conversation started there, then the our teammate took offense to it, and she took it very personal, where she thought that she was getting yelled at, you know and so then I had to come in, and I had to explain to everybody about the situation and try to calm everybody down, but first explain to them about their competitiveness. Everybody at that very moment was very competitive. And so when you're competitive, your heart rate's up. And so when you talk, you're going to talk fast and you're going to talk loud. And so um, her teammate comes from a little bitty town. Her high school class graduated with 15 students. And so she thought that she was getting yelled at. So I had to explain to her, I said, that's not being yelled at. I said, that she's just trying to talk to you during a competitive moment. So her heart rate's up. Of course, she's going to be like that. But she never yelled at you. She was just telling you what you should have done. And I want transparency. I want you guys to be real with each other. I want to help you guys help each other out. Because if you can't communicate and figure this out while we're doing this, we're not going to be a team. So don't be afraid, you know, to let people help you, because, the Bible talks about iron sharpens iron. This is what I want my team to do for each other. So it was a great moment. I love those teaching moments, because they can walk away from, oh, okay, another perspective, just not the athletic perspective. So I love doing that. I see every moment that I see that a chance for a teaching moment. I love those moments with my team.
Love it. Well, Coach Gasso, I think this has just been an amazing space tonight. And I want to thank you and Emily and your SID back there working the board there for you, because it's definitely teamwork. And Dr. Jackie, always been a great friend and a great supporter of CSA and our podcasts. And we do record this. And when we're done, I'll actually retweet it. And if everybody can share it. We had over 30 people listening here tonight, and lots of additional ones that don't show on my screen. So I just want to thank everybody. And we do this every Monday, 8 o'clock. And I wait till the last minute to decide what's the flavor of the week to talk about. But I think I'm going to talk about time management next week and why it's so important for student athletes. So I want to thank you all, and have a great week. And Coach Gasso, you're fabulous. Thank you so much. And we'll see you soon.